So very warm welcome once again to all the respected ICI members of Ahmedabad branch, WIRC. Welcoming you to this nice one-day mentorship conference, Conclave 2024 for the young members. And straight away, I request the Honorable President ICI, C. Aniket Sunil Talati sir, and C. Pushtam Khandelwal sir to escort the respected Honorable sir to come forward. So I request all the dignitaries to join for the lighting of lamp, requesting Vice Chairperson of the branch, C. Sunil Sanghvi sir, respected regional council members, C. Chintan Patel sir, C. Vikas Jain sir, my committee colleagues, C. Neerav Agrawal, C. Rinkesh Shah, Treasurer of the branch, C. Sunit Shah, to join for the lighting of lamp.
Shubham kurutvam kalyanam Arogyam dhana sampadah Shatru buddhi vinashaya Deepajyotir namostute Deepajyotir namostute Shubham kurutvam kalyanam Arogyam dhana sampadah Shubham kurutvam kalyanam Arogyam dhana sampadah. Kurutvam kalyanam Arogyam dhana sampadah Shubham kurutvam kalyanam Arogyam dhana sampadah Shatru buddhi vinashaya Deepajyotir namostute.
May the Almighty bless us with lots of positive energy and enlighten us with knowledge. And requesting the Honorable President ICI to please come on the dais, and requesting C.A. Pushtam Khandelwal, Central Council member, to escort him on the dais. Requesting the Vice Chairperson of the branch, C.A. Sunil Sanghvi sir, to please escort the dignitaries on the dais. Also requesting C.A. G.C. Pipara sir, our respected senior member of Ahmedabad branch, to please come on the dais. And now I request all the respected members to please rise for the ICI motto.
य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता
Requesting the respected Vice Chairperson of ICI Ahmedabad branch, C.A. Sunil Sanghvi sir, to address the August gathering and share his thoughts for the day. Please, sir.
Respected Honorable President of the ICI, Sri Aniket Talati, Central Council Member, Sri Pushtam Khandelwal, today's first technical session speaker, C.A. G.C. Piparaji, Secretary Abhinav Malavia, Regional Council Member, C.A. Chintan Bhai Patel, C. Vikas Bhai Jain, Treasurer of the branch, Sri Rinkesh Shah, Managing Committee members, C.A. Neerav Agrawal, C.A. Sunit Shah, and all young members. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to the Young Members Mentorship Program organized by Women's and Young Members Excellence Committee ICI, hosted by Ahmedabad branch of the ICI. Learning is a continuous process. We have 4 technical sessions, as you are aware. The first on the foraging audit by the Pipara sir. Second on the audit planning and the documentation by the C.A. Santosh Agrawal. The third on the faceless assessments, CA Sanjay V. Shah, and the last on the GST by the CA Amish B. Khanda. We are already late, not further spending more time. Wishing you happy learning to all of you. Thank you.
And now I request the Vice Chairperson of the branch, CA Sunil Sanghvi sir, and respected Central Council member, CA Purushottam Khandelwal sir, to welcome the Honorable President of ICIC, Aniket Sunil Talati sir, with a memento and bouquet. Please may I have a big round of applause for Honorable President sir. Requesting Vice Chairperson CA Sunil Sanghvi sir again to please welcome respected Central Council member CA Purushottam Khandelwal sir with a bouquet and memento. And now I request the respected Central Council member, CA Purushottam Khandelwal sir, to share his thoughts for the day and enlighten us with his words of wisdom. Please, sir.
Good morning. Respected, young, dynamic, and from our own city, President of ICI, CA Aniket Talati. Sir, welcome to this program. सर की आज मेरी एनिवर्सरी है, वो स्पेशल टाइम निकाल के मना नहीं कर पाया मेरे को कि मैं कहा सर आना ही है आपको. ये प्रोग्राम इन्होंने बोला था कि मेंटरशिप प्रोग्राम उनके टेन्योर में एक अच्छा सा प्रोग्राम यंग के लिए हो, तो सर थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग दैट आइडिया फॉर ऑर्गेनाइजिंग दिस वंडरफुल प्रोग्राम हियर. वाइस चेयरमैन ऑफ दिस अहमदाबाद ब्रांच सुनील भाई संघवी, सेक्रेटरी ऑफ द अहमदाबाद ब्रांच Abhinav Mai Malviya, faculty for the first technical session, GCP Parasar. Of the dais, Regional Council Member Chintan Bhai Patel, Vikas Bhai Jain, Treasurer of Ahmedabad Branch, Rinkesh Bhai, Managing Committee Member Sunit Bhai, Nirav Agrawal, and all my young members. I welcome all of these programs. The main purpose of organizing this program to give an idea and mentorship to a chartered accountant, those who are below 35. There is a lot of opportunity, ocean of opportunity lines there, but आपको समझने की ज़रूरत है कि CA में क्या किया जा सकता है. ICI has been set up under the Act of Parliament in 1949. After inception of this ICI, grown by leaps and bounds. Currently, we are having 175 branches across the India, 49 cities of the world, 79 overseas chapters, 5 regional council members, 4,80,000 members, and 8,50,000 students. World's largest accounting body. So this is the strength of ICI. And this year ICI is celebrating 75th year of inception. विश्वास के 75 साल, और इन 75 सालों में नेतृत्व का जो मौका मिला है वो अपने अनिकेत भाई को मिला है अहमदाबाद से. इन्होंने एक साल में इतना काम कर दिया जो पिछले 6 सालों में नहीं हुआ होगा, क्योंकि मैं तो काउंसिल में आने का फिर आपको ही देखा, पहले आप वाइस प्रेसिडेंट थे, फिर प्रेसिडेंट थे. मतलब अनबिलीवेबल ब्रांडिंग. मतलब मुझे लगता नहीं कि इतने सालों में इतना काम हुआ होगा. और पर्टिकुलर फॉर अहमदाबाद को जो भेंट आपने दी है, कल सर राम मंदिर का उद्घाटन हुआ, पूरे देश ने उसको एंजॉय किया. ऐसा ही एक सरप्राइज आपको भी मिल रहा है. सब डेट सेव करके रखना. 6 फरवरी को अहमदाबाद ब्रांच की अद्यतन न्यू बिल्डिंग का उद्घाटन है, वो भी इनके नेतृत्व में बनी है. यही सरकार से 50% कॉस्ट में ज़मीन लेके आए, कोई प्राइवेट पार्टी इन्वॉल्वमेंट नहीं है. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गुजरात से 50% कॉस्ट में लेके आए. सामने 1,52,000 स्क्वायर फीट का कंस्ट्रक्शन है, जो एक्सिस्टिंग बिल्डिंग से 10 टाइम्स है. मतलब जो आप लोग GMCS IT के लिए आते थे, बोलते हम उसको पाकिस्तान में बैठा थे, अभी बेटा बोलते हैं ना, हम लोग सुनते थे, लेकिन अभी अभी जो आने वाली यंग जनरेशन है, जो नए बच्चे हैं, उनको मतलब एकदम हाईली टेक्नोलॉजिकल स्मार्ट बोर्ड, जीएमसीएस के लिए बेहतर सुविधा, कोई कंजेस्टेड नहीं, कोई भीड़ भाड़ में बैठने की नहीं, आईटी लैब्स, ये सब फैसिलिटी के साथ में, न्यू ऑडिटोरियम, बेसमेंट पार्किंग, अभी तो अहमदाबाद आते तो पार्किंग की भी प्रॉब्लम है, वो सब दूर कर दिया है। तो सर एक के लिए, इसके लिए अनिकेत भाई के लिए बहुत जोरदार तालियां हो जावे। सर थैंक यू फॉर गिविंग दिस गिफ्ट टू दी अहमदाबाद। Sir, I will not much time because you are here. People is coming here to listen you. Thank you so much coming. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for your words of wisdom. Indeed, we are the witness of how C. Aniket Sunil Talati, sir, has been dedicated to the construction, and I should add one more word, that is timely completion of the construction of the new ICI building. He has been instrumental in ensuring that we get our building in time, in nice, efficient way, and not taking much of time, sir. And now welcome you to please address with your words of wisdom, requesting Honorable President ICAI, C. Aniket Sunil Talati, sir, to please address his words of wisdom. Please.
Well, very good morning to all of you, and first and foremost, apologies for the slight delay that we are starting off with. This was due to certain prior commitments that I had. I was in fact in Delhi yesterday, where we organized a very important seminar program come discussion forum, which was initiated last year, and this is the second edition of this forum, known as NESCA, the National Education Summit on Commerce and Accounting, which was graced by the Vice Chairman of UGC and saw the presence of 87 universities and colleges. The idea of NESCA, you may all be imagining that why would the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India organize a program like this for colleges and universities? Well, the reason is very simple. We realized while we were revamping the new course, and I'm sure you are all thanking God that we have all cleared our exam and don't have to worry about the new course or the new curriculum. But while we were doing the process of the examination of our existing curriculum, matching it with international standards, looking at the national education policy, we realized that in India, in almost all colleges, the degree may be same, Bachelor of Commerce, but the content is so diverse, and in some places it is so irrelevant and has become so extinct that the student may be called Bachelor of Commerce, but they don't have the right amount of skill sets. This impacts two things. One, it impacts the branding of the profession of chartered accountancy, because BCom students will be working in your offices, and therefore we are not getting the right quality of people to aid and assist us. And second, it brings down the brand accountancy and commerce, because finally if you have today an engineer who comes out of, let's say, a science and commerce and computer sciences, and he says, what is artificial intelligence? Oh, sorry, it was not in my course. You know, that is not the kind of engineer you would appreciate. Similarly, if a commerce graduate comes out and is still learning the old ways of doing things, doesn't know anything about GST because the course was not updated in the last 6 years, and therefore they are still probably learning excise and service tax, I think it doesn't look good on the nation as a whole. And therefore we took up this last year with a very clear intent that can we reshape the commerce and accounting landscape in India. And I'm delighted that in this year itself, when I was president, more than 75 universities we have done MOUs with, and in almost all of them we've tried to impact the way commerce education is taught and the curriculum that is shaped. And therefore today they all have a curriculum which is based on ICI's exemplar, which we released last year. And today, as I speak to you, we have launched another very important university initiative with all these colleges, and that is Arambh. Arambh is nothing else but the institute again realizing the fact that in universities and colleges, besides commerce education, there are science, arts, various other streams. But इसमें जो बच्चे पढ़ते हैं, and they qualify and come out as engineers, they may come out in other professionals as doctors or as maybe even in the arts background. They do not have enough financial knowledge, they do not have enough investment knowledge. And what happens a lot of time, you would have seen, is that they are very susceptible to getting into a debt trap, they are susceptible to becoming victims of financial fraud, and therefore we have now started a very important initiative where UGC is working with us, so that in all non-commerce courses that are there in the undergraduate level, we have one module on accounts, finance and investment, so that the entire population of India, and today there are more than 4.14 crore students who are pursuing undergraduate course, they can be taught accounts and finance. And I'm delighted that yesterday I got the opportunity to release that RM with the UGC, and I'm sure that with the kind of effort we are making with UGC, with AICT, with NCERT and with CBSE, the entire curriculum from 8th standard till post-graduation will all have a unique mark of ICAI, and in that sense we will be able to impact not just our 4 lakh chartered accountants and 8.5 lakh students, but we can go far beyond the realm of this profession and impact all students who are pursuing undergraduate and postgraduate. So that was the intention with which NESCA was held last year, and then again the second edition was held yesterday, because of which I only came to Ahmedabad today. And as Purushottam Bhai very rightly mentioned, today happens to be a personal occasion, and you can be outside the city and country for the whole year, but I ek divas gare aau pade. So I made sure that I am in Ahmedabad today, and then of course go out traveling again from tomorrow. So first and foremost, my special thanks to Purushottam Khandelwal ji for accommodating the request that Ahmedabad ma program hoy to ajni tarikh ma hoy, then I can attend, and giving me the opportunity to interact with you. My thanks to the branch, Sunil ji, Abhinav bhai, the entire team which is sitting here, my two colleagues in the regional council, Chintan bhai, Vikas bhai, Sunit bhai, Rinkesh bhai, Neerav bhai, and of course the speaker who is going to speak next to you, GC Pipara ji. Friends, at the institute, as Purushottam bhai mentioned, we have focused on 3-4 various items, and one of the most important, which is extremely close to my heart, is of course what we are going to inaugurate on 6th of February in the form of the new branch building. I'm sure all of you as members in practice will be the first beneficiaries of this wonderful building that is being built. We will have the entire classrooms, ITT center, offices ready, and of course the auditorium we will be able to complete in the next few weeks, after which even the seminars, and a seminar of this size also, can now be thought of having in our own premise, because that hall is going to have a capacity of more than 400 seating capacity. That's the size that we are trying to build. Yes, in terms of classrooms, we have made a huge change. We have now changed the concept of classroom to make them smart classrooms. And in every classroom of GMCS and ITT, we are going to now have a smart board. And the purpose of the smart board is multifold. One, you can have experiential learning for the students. Second, you have all done GMCS at some point of time. You have all done ITT at some point of time, and you will all acknowledge and appreciate that there is extreme varied level of training which is imparted in the GMCS, because it depends on the quality of the person who's taking the session and what you are able to understand. What we are now trying to do is standardize the delivery of education. So imagine for a moment that if the next GMCS batch of April was to be launched, we could then launch the batch across India on the same day, and that would ensure that thousands of students, those sitting in batches of 50, are attending together, and we could call the best faculties of the country and the world, a Chetan Bhagat, or why a Chetan Bhagat, even somebody from Harvard, Stanford and Oxford, who could come and then take a lecture which would be viewable and interactable for more than 1,000 students. So that is a kind of vision with which we are trying to develop this GMCS ITT centers. And this Ahmedabad center is going to be one of the first to have this kind of digital experience. But why am I saying this? I'm saying this because today I'm interacting with a great bunch of newly, freshly qualified chartered accountants who have taken a COP maybe in the last 5 to 10 years. Correct? How many of you have taken a COP in the last 2 years? Okay. So majority of you are extremely young, freshly qualified chartered accountants in practice. And the purpose of this very important conclave that Purushottam Bhai has organized is his realization of the fact that today, for example, if I speak about myself, I had the fortune of getting into a firm where my father is a chartered accountant in practice. In fact, I have a third generation, and therefore I could learn a lot of things at home and from my office environment that I directly entered into. Similarly, for example, Chintan Bhai here may have had that privilege because his father is also a chartered accountant. But for many others, as soon as you qualify and if you decide that without working in a firm, I want to get into practice, there is a clear realization in the council. And I must thank Purushottam Bhai. Last year when we were sitting, I distinctly remember in Bhubaneswar, he mentioned to me that today we have a very important orientation program for members in industry. I said, yes, you are right. We do it for members who are applying for the campus and are going to take a job. He says they will be taught about how do you handle an interview, how do you face an interview, how do you work in a corporate culture. I said, yes, you are right. And then he asked the question, but what about those who have newly applied for a certificate of practice? Don't you think they need certain important training on how do you set up an office? What are the dynamics and economics of starting a practice? How do you learn to charge fees? How do you ensure that you are able to say a very important thing, which I must say you must all learn, is how do you say no to a client? Because when you start off, many a times, je aave lei lo. And that cannot be the right way to do, because if that is the approach and you start taking something which is not worth it, believe me that one assignment, that one signature of yours on some attestation is going to haunt you for the rest of your life. And therefore it was his brainchild at that point when we were in the outstation council meeting, and he was the vice chairman of this committee if I am not mistaken, and then he brought this proposal and the council accepted that yes, members in industry are important. But even today, the brand chartered accountant is recognized by our members in practice. And therefore, we must organize orientation program for members in practice. So if somebody is to be credited for this concept of having this mentorship conclave, it is none other than our friend Purushottam Bhai Khandelwalji, who has thought about all of you, the newly, freshly qualified chartered accountants, and is trying to see how you can get the best opportunity to interact with very senior chartered accountants who have established themselves. I saw the faculties who are going to be speaking over the next 3 hours, and I'm sure you will be immensely benefited by their experience, expertise, and also when you start practice, the art of how you gain clients, how you gain trust, how you are able to charge correctly for your fees, but most importantly, you are also able to minimize the risk that is there today in attestation functions, in making sure that when you are signing something, you have the sufficient amount of documentation at your disposal to sufficiently provide and prove to any investigation agency or to any regulator, it may be the SEBI, it may be ICI, it may be NFRA, that you have done what is expected out of you and you have been due diligent. Friends, today, let me tell you, especially to my younger chartered accountant friends who have qualified in the last 2 years, understand the sea change that has happened just in front of your eyes in the last maybe 5, 7, 10 years. एक ज़माना हुआ करता था, अगर कोई चीज़ नहीं होती तो हम कहते सरकारी है, स्लो हो रहा है, काम नहीं चल रहा है, सरकारी है. आज you have seen a phenomenal Ram temple being built yesterday and inaugurated. Imagine the speed at which the construction is taken. Was that sarkari? Answer is definitely no. You have seen today the GST, which is now more than 6 years old, which is totally run on technology. It may be e-invoices, it may be monthly returns, it may be annual returns. Everything is happening through the GSTN. And therefore, a law, which in fact, in practice, runs not on law but on the portal, is totally technology driven. You look at income tax today, faceless assessment, faceless appeals, filing of returns, everything is online. And therefore, Sarkar today is no longer Sarkari. You apply for a passport, apply for an Aadhaar, apply for a PAN card, try and see if you want to move around the country and make digital payments. Things move at a super fast pace because of technology. Look at your own institute. There used to be a time when you used to, for those of you who have qualified in the last 2 years and applied for COP, you remember the time when you applied for your articleship. 102, 103, બધાને યાદ છે? ભરેલો તો ફોર્મ ભરીએ, બ્રાન્ચમાં જમા કરીએ, મુંબઈ જાય, મુંબઈ જઈને પાછો આવે, 1.5 મહિને ખબર પડે કે આર્ટિકલશિપ નોંધાઈ છે. આજે તમે આર્ટિકલશિપ પૂરી કરો, અને આજે તો ઘણા યંગ ચાર્ટર્ડ એકાઉન્ટન્ટ છે જે પોતાના અંડર આર્ટિકલશિપ રાખવા માટે એલિજિબલ થઈ ગયા છે. તમે આર્ટિકલશિપનું 102, 103 ભરશો કે 108, 109 ભરશો, હું ગેરંટીથી કહું છું 24 કલાકમાં તમારી આર્ટિકલશીપ રજિસ્ટ્રેશન કે ડીરજિસ્ટ્રેશન થઈ જશે. તમે લોકોએ COP અપ્લાય કર્યું? એક જમાનો હતો 1.5-2 મહિના પછી COP આવતું હતું. આજે જો તમારી બધી વિગત પૂરી છે અને ફોર્મ 9 ભરશો COP માટે, it's a matter of hours, maximum a couple of days in which you are getting your COP. That is the pace at which the institute is working. You look at the helpline number that we have generated. I was looking at the statistics. In this council year itself, more than 9,50,000 calls have terminated on that line. And more than 85% of them have been solved just in the first call, without a follow-up. The institute is working at a rapid pace and therefore no longer is Sarkari. The question that begs to be answered is, if the government is no longer Sarkari, if the institute is no longer Sarkari, can you and me as practitioners afford to have the same old techniques in our practice? And the answer is an emphatic no. I am extremely clear, and I would like to make sure that all of you who are young chartered accountants who are going to be the flag bearers of the profession, because this brand ICI that we talk about, Purushottam spoke about 75 years of trust, 75 saal Vishwas ke. This brand ICI is built on the shoulders of our practicing members who are recognized for their attestation function. Last year alone in 2023, 1.65 crore UDINs were generated. એટલે 2.5 કરોડ લોકોએ આપણી સિગ્નેચર પર ભરોસો રાખ્યો છે. That is the kind of importance that is attached to the signature of a chartered accountant. And therefore, it is imperative that each one of you appreciates whatever you have learned during your articleship days. You now have to ensure that when you are the owner, partner or proprietor of a practicing firm, it's incumbent upon you to practice in the newer ways of doing things. Imagine a doctor, and today you have newer technologies of doing things. You have a laser. If you have an eye problem, your numbers can be removed using a LASIK technology. If a doctor comes and says, ના મેં જ્યારે ભણ્યું હતું ત્યારે તો લેઝિક નહોતું એટલે હું નહીં કરું, તો કોઈ ડૉક્ટર પાસે જશે? કોઈ ડૉક્ટર આવે ને કે મારા કોર્સમાં તો કોવિડ નહોતું એટલે હું તમને નહીં જોઈ શકું, કોઈ ડૉક્ટર પાસે જશે? આન્સર ઇઝ નો. Then the question is for all of us, we have all to be technically updated, read the amendments, the changes that are coming in laws, in regulations, and equally importantly, be updated in terms of using technology. My urge to all of you would be, start using the best tools which are available for audit. Make sure that you all have a practice management tool at your disposal. The committee for members in practice, and Purushottam Bhai played a very important role last year to come out with the first ever fully blown practice management tool which the institute has taken. And think of the commitment that ICI is making on our behalf as practitioners. The tool has been purchased by ICI and has been given free of cost to our members, so that you can have entire practice management starting from the appointment letter to the completion of your engagement, starting from time management, allocation of work between your employees and yourself, making sure that you are able to record your time. My request and urge to all of you will be, એવું ના વિચારતા કે આ મોટી ફર્મો અને બિગ ફોર ને એ લોકો માટે જ આ સોફ્ટવેર્સ છે. I think end of the day we all have one thing in common. People ask me, what is the difference between business and profession? And of course, the technical definition is that business is profit at all cost, and therefore profit in the bottom line is most important. Whereas in profession, it's not just about profit. We choose profession because of the social strata, the social status that we get, and we get that because there is a code of ethics and a code of conduct that we all follow. Business may not have a code of ethics, but profession surely has a code of ethics. But the second important difference in my view between a business and profession is very clearly in business, you may be in manufacture or you may be in trade. You will have goods or inventory. For us, chartered accountants in practice, there is only one inventory. And you know what that inventory is? It's time. We are in the business of selling our time. And if you don't value and realize the value of your time, don't record it and make sure that you charge the client appropriately for your time, we are all doing a huge disservice to ourselves and also to our profession. So please, the first and foremost what I was talking about is technology and its importance. Try and see how you, the younger generation, can shape the future of our profession. I went to Bangalore recently. I met a chartered accountant firm. Again, they started with 4, 5, 10 people. Today, they are more than 400. And I was surprised to see in their entire office, પોતાની આખી બિલ્ડિંગ છે, કમ્પ્યુટર, સર્વર, બધું જ જોયું. મેં કીધું પ્રિન્ટર ક્યાં છે? કે પ્રિન્ટર જ નથી. એકે ઓફિસમાં ડ્રોઅર જ નથી. No printer, no drawers. The idea is when today everything can be digitally signed, invoices can be sent digitally, everything is done digitally, and financial statements we say is the responsibility of the management. They print, they bring, I sign and I take a copy. They don't have a printer in the entire office, and yet they are able to work on the biggest IT, technology and startup companies in Bangalore. My request and urge to all of you would be, can we start thinking of our offices which are technologically equipped? Yes, you may have the exceptions of printing certain aspects, but for all other things can be digitally documented. Because today, believe me, we live in an era where audit not documented is audit not done. We have to accept the fact. I have said this in as many forums that I have got the opportunity, and I say it again to all of you, my dear young chartered accountant friends. Having chaired the disciplinary committee for 2 years as the presiding officer, so many times I can see when I see the member that yes, he may have done the work that he is saying. But when you ask him, engagement letter ક્યાં છે? સાહેબ એ શું હોય? અરે ભાઈ તમને કામ આપ્યું ક્લાયન્ટે, તમે કોઈ તો લખાણમાં લીધું હશે ને કે આ કામ કરીશ, મારી જવાબદારી આ, તમારી જવાબદારી આ, અને આટલી ફી થશે. Because believe me, if you don't do that, so many times we have seen when the client gets into trouble and we hold the client as if he is our family, he is our part. Yes, it's an important aspect, he is the one who's giving our remuneration. But at the same time, please be very careful and mind well that if tomorrow there was something to happen to the client, he will afford the best lawyer, he will afford the best legal support, and will be available in terms of the access to the justice system. But for smaller, younger chartered accountants, can we afford the best lawyers in the country to go to Supreme Court who charge lakhs of rupees just for one appearance? The answer may probably be no. And therefore, what will come to your rescue, besides of course the institute which is always there to support its members, is if you have documented it correctly. Make sure that the entire process, it may be the smallest certificate that you give or the largest listed company that you may audit tomorrow. Make sure that your entire process of documentation is world class. Today at the institute, in this year itself, we have tried to see that engagement letters, how do you prepare them? એની આખી એક ટેમ્પલેટ બનાવીને અમે તમને આપી છે. It's an Excel template. Please use it. For private limited, public limited, all forms of companies it is available, readily available, based on the standards on auditing. The double ASB, the Audit and Assurance Standards Board, has come out with a checklist for all auditing standards, which can be used for any audit that you do. When you do an audit, what should be the template of work papers? If you have audited property, plant, equipment, loans and advances, capital, equity, whatever part that you're auditing, what should be the kind of work papers you must have? Entire templates with checklists have been prepared by the institute. કહીએ ને ઊંટને તમે કૂવા સુધી લઈ શકો. છેલ્લે it's up to us as practitioners to take that dip and sip the water. The institute can provide all the templates. It can provide through AASB and CAQ all the technical material. Through CMP and Purushottam Bhai, they can bring out the best softwares. But finally, it is upon each one of us to make right use of these products, tools, softwares, and technical updates that one gets. So my request and urge to all of you, as I address you this morning, and you start this very important session on the newer opportunities that lie in front of you. Piparaji will talk to you about forensics and how you can develop the art of being a forensic accountant. It's not a forensic audit. We have now standards where we clearly say it is not an audit, because audit means issuing an opinion. And we as chartered accountants have no business to issue an opinion whether it's a fraud or not. It is for the bank to decide or for the court of law to decide whether the fraud has occurred or not. But we can give our findings where we may say that yes, there have been certain funds which have been siphoned off, there have been certain invoices which do not have sufficient backup. That is a role that chartered accountants can very rightly do. And therefore, we are now the first body in the world which has come out with a full set of forensic accounting and investigation standards, FAIS, which are mandatory for every chartered accountant from 1st of July. And a tremendous opportunity that lies in front of you. You are also going to be spoken to on income tax, on GST, on audit. Besides this, there are various avenues which are available to chartered accountants. Today, you go to valuation. There's a huge shortage of good valuation experts which are available in the market. The mediation bill has been approved, and tremendous opportunity that lies in front of you there. You go to any part of commerce and you will see that tremendous opportunities are there for chartered accountants. The question is, are we willing to skill ourselves and become experts in one domain, or do we want to become a jack of all? I think that is the main crux of what has to be determined by all of you. Internationally, let me tell you, chartered accountants and Indian chartered accountants are tremendously respected. And that is why when I had the occasion to meet the Honorable Prime Minister, the vision that was shared with us is to make India a global accounting and finance hub. And you would all seen yesterday evening, a very important notification came out. Very close to us is the GIFT City. And within GIFT City is the IFSCA, the International Financial Services Center Authority. And starting yesterday, they have notified that so far financial services meant what? It meant banking, insurance, financial markets. They expanded the definition to include financial education, so universities have come. They have expanded for maritime and aircraft leasing. And yesterday they have said BAT, that is bookkeeping, accounting, taxation, compliance services, and forensic services are all going to be in the definition of financial services. And what this means is for entities who set up in GIFT City, there is a 10-year exemption out of 15 years that you choose on total tax that you have to pay. So the government itself is saying, we want to develop India for bookkeeping, accounting, compliance and tax services. There are tremendous overseas opportunities which are also available for our chartered accountants. Today, if you go to the Middle East, you go to Australia, majority of chartered accountants in Middle East are from Indian origin. In Australia, in the last 5 years, more than 5,000 Indian chartered accountants have used the MRA of India and made sure that they are now in Australia. And thousands more are sitting in India and doing accounting work for the US, UK, Australia, and so many other countries. So, my dear friends, opportunities are immense. I am sure that over the next the 3 hours that you have with yourself and with the expert faculties, you will be able to explore the various opportunities that lie for chartered accountants. I will only say that in a country of 140 crores, 140 crore no desh છે, એમાં ખાલી 1.4 lakh chartered accountants in practice છે. It's such a small number. If we all unite, if we all have the right kind of skill sets, believe me, the sky is the limit for where we can take practice of our own firms and of course the scale of our profession. But you all have to be confident. You all have to make sure that we don't restrict ourselves only to the domestic tariff, but make sure that our profession goes international. And with this intention, we have revamped our CA logo. It used to have the green tick earlier, but on 24th of November, with the hands of the Honorable Vice President of India, we launched the new logo, which you can see there at the bottom of the screen, which now very proudly, because India is gaining not just traction internationally, but also is becoming a very interesting economy where there is interest from across the world. We are aiming to be the third largest, and I'm sure we will be a developed nation by 2047. So tomorrow if you meet a John from Australia who says, hi, I'm John CP Australia, or Alex who says, hi, I'm CP Ireland, you too can very proudly say, hi, I'm Sunit Shah and I'm CA India. And I want that pride that all of us should have in our nation. The council wants all of us to have it, and therefore the tricolors are now a part of our logo. Make sure wherever you are, in your office, in your practice, in your visiting cards, proudly display this logo of CA India, because end of the day, that is what unites all of us. We are all proud members of this great institution, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. And finally, as I always say, I request each one of you, whenever you feel, what is ICI doing, where is ICI, what is ICI? ICI is not Aniket Talati, President, Vice President. It is not Purushottam Bhai or the entire council. It is not regional council or the branch. In my view, you and me, all of us together, make up the ICI, and therefore always believe that I am the I in ICAI. शुरुआत भी हमसे, अंत भी हमसे, इंस्टीट्यूट भी मैं, इंडिया भी मैं. जय हिंद, जय ICI.
Sir, absolutely speechless we are after you give your speech, a visionary leader and exemplary orator, and sir, initiatives by ICAI taken by you during this council year has been for the better facilities for the students and newer opportunities for the members, and the decisions taken by you during this year have been unique, impactful, innovative, and the pioneer in all senses. And the importance shared by you in the fields of technology and ethics and documentations, I think all have gained knowledge from that. and the opportunities in the fields of valuation and mediation will also be taken up by the members, by the young members. They are the emerging fields for all of us. And sir, the ICI's brand image has taken new heights under your leadership. So big round of applause for you, sir. And on behalf of all the members present here, I take this opportunity to wish you the happy marriage anniversary, your personal day. You took time out and shared your words of wisdom today. And it's my gratitude to applaud the efforts of CA Purushottam Khandelwal, sir, respected Central Council member, under whose leadership this conclave has been organized, and we are sitting in such a nice premises as well. So I thank all the dignitaries on the dais for being present in this inaugural session of this Young Members Mentorship Conclave 2024. Thank you so much. And we now head on for this first session, wherein our respected senior member of ICI Ahmedabad branch, CA GCP Para sir, will address us on the topic of forensic accounting. So requesting all the dignitaries to please rise for a photograph.